Hello everyone, welcome on in. It's Betting Weekly Game Bet Match, the number one tennis betting podcast and YouTube show brought to you in association with Bet Rivers. The US Open is underway over in New York, and that is where our senior ATP Call handicapper, Sean Calvert, will be joining us from in a second. But before I introduce you to Sean, find out what's going on over there, please may I ask you to hit that subscribe button, give us a like as well, ring the bell, be notified of every time any bit of content is dropping here on the YouTube channel. Not only the tennis, also the soccer, Champions League, Europa League, European leagues, and the Premier League, all hotting up across the European football scene as well. So lots and lots of action, lots and lots of stuff to be speaking about, lots of winners and lots of stats to get through. And the man to do it all for tomorrow's action on Wednesday in New York is Sean Calvert. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. This is nice and early, isn't it? 9 a.m. start.
Well, for you it is. It's not for it's lunchtime here.
Yeah.
How's your first day in New York? Nice?
Yeah, really good actually. Just if anyone has been following on the Instagram, they probably know what I've been doing here. One of the followers of the show very generously lent me his apartment for a few days. That's where I am at the moment. Shout out to Matt for doing that. I know he watches the show. And I met another one of the our followers yesterday at Flushing Meadows. Another guy also called Matt, really nice guy. Spent probably about 4 or 5 hours with him yesterday, talking about tennis, watching the matches. So yeah, it's one of the we've talked about it a few times. One of the benefits of doing this show, you get to meet all sorts of people you never would have met otherwise.
I don't know if my inbox was working when he was offering you the apartment. I don't know. I must have missed the Instagram message or the message on X.
This was a long time ago. He contacted me on Twitter a long time ago.
Would have saved me $5,000, but there you go.
I don't think this is for you, mate. There's quite a few, things that I don't know whether Nigel Seeley would kind of, the sort of luxury you're used to. I don't know whether that would fit with you.
I'm only missing anyway. I'm jetting out tomorrow, so I'll be with me up tomorrow evening.
Yes, tomorrow evening. Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah, I think I've kind of got over the jet lag. It's not too bad when you come this way. It's when you go east that is a major problem. I don't find west that much of an issue. You do wake up at about 3-4 a.m., but once you get past that, it's okay.
And we have 4 matches we are going to look at for the second round. The second round gets underway tomorrow, Wednesday. You can follow Sean over at Flushing Meadows on our Instagram account at Because We Win. He'll be there today and tomorrow, so you better catch some in-play stuff from him there. Let's have a look at 4 matches. Before we go on to the matches, Sean, the weather, I've mentioned it was quite warm yesterday, but it's going to cool down a little bit. I mean, I saw 23, 24s, which is a lot lower temperatures than what you would expect in New York this time of year.
Yeah, it's great. If you remember last year, it was about 33, wasn't it? I think the forecast I've seen says it's going to be about 27 today, then dropping down to sort of 25, 26, 25, maybe 24 for the next sort of 10 days or so. So the players will be loving it. This is probably 8-9 degrees cooler than it normally is at this particular tournament. So great for the players, pretty good for the fans as well. It's plenty warm enough because it's always pretty sort of humid here. So yeah, the conditions are fine. Not much wind, although it did get quite gusty yesterday, but the wind forecast is like 5-6 mile an hour. It's nothing. So conditions couldn't be better for the players really.
And what about the court speeds? If you're looking at your eye, nothing to really reports similar to what you thought, medium to fast?
Yeah, I've got some stats. 40 after the first 44 main draw matches, it's almost identical to previous years. 78% holds, 72.4% first serve points won. That's not that's almost identical to previous years. It's as I said, like just a medium paced hard court. Really, it's not too slow. It certainly isn't quick. It's probably about right. It's a decent pace court, but nothing. It's nowhere near like a Cincy or a Toronto. It's nothing like that.
Okay, let's move on to the betting. That's what you're here for. These are the bets that we're going through. These are the matches we've highlighted. We've highlighted 4 matches with Bet Rivers. These are tomorrow. We haven't got the order of play, but remember to go across to the Bet Rivers app, download the app. Go to the website as well to check out the order of play, but we do know these matches will be scheduled for Wednesday. Just waiting for the times to be found out. Our first match we are going to discuss is the match between Jan-Lennard Struff, the veteran, up against Holger Rune. Jan-Lennard Struff has had a good week so far in New York. He come through qualifying, won 3 matches there in impressive style. Beat Cazo in the third round of qualifying, beat Tara Daniel, another big win for him as well. And in the first round, he backed that up with a win over McDonald. Rune was I wouldn't say he was fantastic against Van der Sandschut, but he won three sets to love. Bosik Van der Sandschut didn't really offer anything, so which was surprising. You really even consider the run he'd been on to get this far. And since the market has opened, there has been little nibbles for Jan-Lennard Struff in the market. He's plus 270 currently with Bet Rivers. Holger Rune is minus 360. Spread is a 5.5 spread line, and total here is 37.5. There's some other matches there. Some of the markets there, set betting total sets as well. There will be about there'll be loads of markets, 50, 60 different markets available on this match. When it gets closer to the start time, they have met once before in Munich in 2024, and Struff won that very, very easy, 6-2, 6-love on a clay court in the semi-finals. This time around, money for Struff, but he hasn't had a good season. He's had injury concerns. He hasn't had a good season, but he's putting some of his best tennis of the year together here in New York.
Yeah, I thought Rune was poor yesterday. It was a weird match against Van der Zandschulp. I mean, Botic didn't get any help with the scheduling, really. The other guy played in the final of Winston-Salem, Fuchsovich, is playing today, so he got a Tuesday start. Obviously, when we recorded the show, I think he hadn't even played the semis at Winston-Salem, so it's a little difficult to know what condition he was going to turn up in and what the scheduling was going to be. But he also claimed to have a migraine. He said he had a migraine yesterday, and then he also blamed the wind. He says he didn't have time to prepare. He had a migraine. It was windy. I mean, it wasn't that windy. It was pretty gusty at times, but it wasn't that bad for me. I don't think it was. It was a poor match. I mean, his first set in particular, Botic, some of his serves weren't even reaching the net. He did a couple that were like table tennis serves. It was incredibly bad. And Rune was only marginally the better player in sets 2 and 3, which were very even. He ended up winning both of them in a tiebreak. It wasn't great at all from Rune. And for me, on that level, on the level of that match, given his record here, which is really poor, and his one match against Struff, which he got absolutely demolished in, he's short at minus 360. I'm not surprised Struff's been nibbled at. For me, Rune can still be hit off the court by a powerful player, as Terence Atman showed again in Cincy the other week. Just blew him away, and Struff did a similar thing to him on the clay in Munich. He absolutely demolished him. He had no answer at all. I know that was one of Struff's best career performances, but just a general decent Struff level would cause Rune problems, I think. If you look at what Rune's done against the big servers in my database, he's lost the opening set 7 times in 11 completed matches against the big servers in my database. So he's been a slow starter anyway. He's talked about it recently, trying to improve the slow starts that he's made to matches. And Struff, as we know, I've mentioned many times on the show, is usually a fast starter against the better players. Just going back to that record of Holger Rune's in New York, service points won and return points won total of 92. And he's only held serve 69% of the time in all his career matches against New York. He was also complaining, surprise, of an injury issue. I think it was abdominals or something. He was having an issue with Rune yesterday. And Struff, as you said in your little preview there, Struff has, he has had a lot of injury problems in the last sort of 12, 18 months, probably something like that. A lot of injury issues, but when he is fit, he's, in conditions that suit, he's decent. And in the end, against McDonald, he played some of his best stuff. So I think the odds of plus 180 with Bet Rivers about Struff winning the opening set here are generous. I don't know whether that line has moved at all since I looked at this an hour or so ago. But yeah, all things considered, I think Rune is short here for sure.
Yeah, few angles to get with Rune. Look at the spreads, look at the set spread, look at the game spread. All different markets available there. Jan-Lennard to win, Struff to win at least one set. Heavy favourite minus 220. Just trying to find the prices to win the first set.
I think it's a bit further down the page.
I can't find it.
It was anyway, plus 180 anyway. That's the official play I'm going for. Struff to win the opening set. Quick win or quick loss. Happy with that. I don't want to be getting involved in a 5-set match with these two. But the other option, if you think that's a little bit too risky, the other option, as you said there, Nigel, is Struff on the other lines, like plus set, plus 1.5 sets, or plus handicap games, or over total games, or even individual Struff player games, which I think is 17.5 the line. So any of those are alternative options as well.
I have found the line. Set 1, Jan-Lennard Struff plus 180. That's our official play. That is still available with Bet Rivers. And remember, the action starts at 12 o'clock local time. We don't know the order of play, but 12 o'clock local time tomorrow. So you've got plenty of time to download the app and head across to the Bet Rivers website or the app and get your bets on. If you do have a bet on the match, you'll be able to live stream the match as well. So you can bet live and watch live with Bet Rivers. Let's move on to our second match. Gabriel Diallo up against Jaume Munar. If you got the newsletter this week, you would have seen that my outsider to go well this week was Gabriel Diallo. So I'm interested to see what Sean has to say. But he's up against a favourite of this show, Jaume Munar. So when I saw Sean pick this bet up, I was thinking, oh no, I'm a little bit worried here. Diallo is a marginal favourite, minus 155. He again has seen money today. Jaume Munar is plus 123. Spread 2.5. Total here is higher, 39.5. There's the set betting. Yeah, the total sets. Again, 48 different markets available with BetRivers app. And yet again, the action starts at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Diallo had a great grass court campaign. Went off it a little bit, but looked good against Zuma. Munar had a good win as well. Both of them playing pretty much identically coming in if you look at their record. But Diallo is the marginal favourite here in this one. What do you see here, Sean?
Well, I think it might be bad news for you, Nigel, unfortunately. He's not... I'm
used to it by now.
You might be in a similar situation to Calder last week. He's not fit, Diallo, but by any means, not even close on the basis of what I saw yesterday against Zuma. You don't want to be playing Munar over 5 sets if you're not up to it physically. I mean, I'm not sure how he beat Zuma last night. Serving and volleying on everything. Just couldn't do much with he was on one leg, basically. Medical timeouts in set 3, set 4 for a right leg injury. He came to the net 61 times against Zuma, which is very, very similar to how the match played out that I watched yesterday. Seb Calder against Cam Norrie. Calder was injured. He also decided to serve and volley on absolutely everything, ended up retiring in the end. Again, not much of a surprise with Calder, but it's very, very, it's kind of an obvious thing when you see a player that, most players don't serve and volley these days. When you see them doing it on pretty much every point, combined with them having medical timeouts, is not a great sign. The odds must be based on the head-to-head, which is 2-0 to Diallo, but this is a very different situation. When they played him in Mallorca, Munar never plays well in Mallorca. It's his home tournament. He's terrified of it. And Diallo came into that match having just won a tournament when we had him successfully in Rosmar. And so a very different situation. And Munar is obviously a much better player on hard now than when these two met here a year ago. If we look at what they've done this season on outdoor hard at main level, Diallo, 44% win rate, service points won and return points won, total of 97. Not great. Munar, 56% win rate, service points won and return points won, total of 104. So much, much better. If we throw in grass and indoor hard into the equation as well, it's still Munar in the lead, 103 to 99 in terms of service points won and return points won totals across all those surfaces. So given also the fact that Munar will surely fancy revenge, having been beaten in his home tournament and also beaten here by Diallo, he would have seen that Zuma match and he'll just make him play a ton of balls. I'll be very impressed if Diallo wins this. Unless he has a miraculous recovery, maybe it wasn't too bad, but it didn't look good to me for him. And I imagine that's why Munar's been nibbled at in the market because, people watching that Diallo Zuma match will not fancy him for this at all. So with Bet Rivers, obviously you get retirement after, if set 1 is completed. So money line for me, Munar plus 123. I don't think that price will be there by the time this show goes out, to be honest.
It's funny though because the money has actually come for Diallo this morning.
I don't know what's going on. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, plus 123 is currently the best price with Bet.
Unless something's wrong with Munar as well. I don't know.
I mean, there's been money for Diallo all morning. I suppose, like you say, it could be the head-to-head winning 2-0, beat him in the US Open last year, beat him in Mallorca this year. Maybe looking at that. Probably didn't watch the match as closely as you did. Obviously, you're there, you're seeing it. The inside information you have there is giving us a bit of an edge there. So Munar plus 123, but there is a market positive towards the injured Diallo, which surprising when you're hearing the stuff that Sean is coming out with there. Okay, let's move on to our penultimate match, and it's the match involving. He's still the number one American, isn't he? Yes, Taylor Fritz. I thought Ben shot my front. He's leading American on the rankings. Just about, yeah. Will he be the leading number one American at the end of the tournament? We'll find out. But he's a heavy favourite here. He's minus 12.50 against Lloyd Harris, who's $7. Red is 6.5. Total is 34.5. And Lloyd Harris is a player that's beaten Fritz before. He beat him in 2020 in Antwerp. I know it was a long time ago. In Cincinnati, the previous time they met, Fritz won that as well. But Lloyd Harris can play, and he can play in these kind of conditions. He's got a good record here. He's come through qualification as well, won 3 matches, including a win over Dan Evans. Beat Sebastian Baez, but Sebastian Baez was injured in round 1. Fritz was impressive against Nava, but he did lose against Antman in the match in Cincinnati in the build-up to this. Fritz has got the pressure on him. A lot of points to defend as well. Got to the final last year, minus 1250. I don't think he's going to lose this, Fritz, but my first reaction is total games or set one overs. I've got to get with Harris in some way.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the way that Harris serves makes this one for overs. Fritz usually takes time to get going in his slams, and 7 of his last 8 completed matches in majors have gone over 34.5 games, which shows you, he says himself, he takes time to get going. You know, the last time he met Harris was only plus 150 underdog in that match in Antwerp we talked about, and Harris dominated that on serve, winning 82% on first serve and going unbroken. I know it was a little while ago, but it kind of shows what Harris can do when he's fit, which he isn't very often. If you look at this US Open so far, including qualies, Harris has held serve 88% of the time, winning 82% of first serve points. And this is obviously a step up main draw, but Fritz struggles to break big servers. Last 12 months against big servers, Fritz 8-3 win-loss, but he's only broken serve 11% of the time and won 31.6% of return points. So he's winning, but he's not winning, comfortably. He should win it, Fritz, but for me, Harris is a threat when he's fit. Big game, should make this closer than the odds suggest. So over 34.5, 1.87 minus 115 at Bet Rivers. It's a bit of a lean, but that's the way to go here, I think.
So that's not an official play, that's your lean?
That's my lean, yeah.
Yeah, just leaning there towards the go. I thought when the prices come up, I thought that was the one you want to do. That's the way to go. Fritz will probably get it, but it's going to be close. So first one, set one overs as well, over 9.5 looks pretty cheap as well.
What's
our final
over
match?
9.5? What price is that? Sorry.
Well, hang on, I saw a minute ago.
I'd probably take over 10.5 to be honest on that, or over maybe even a set one tiebreak. The way that those two play, it's all about fitness with Harris. If he's fit, he's dangerous. But he's had so many injuries last 2 or 3 years. He's had an absolute nightmare. But yeah, I think we're agreed on the way to approach that match. Yeah.
Yeah. Our final match is another American, a player ranked just inside the top 32 in the world, just in the seedings. Brandon Nakashima, I think he's seed 30 this week. He's up against Jerome Kim, the Swiss player. Kim has again come through qualification. Had a bit of good form coming into this tournament, but looked really good in qualification. Didn't drop a set in his 3 matches. He beat Quinn in the American Ethan Quinn, which is a big win for him, over 4 sets in round 1. Nakashima beat de Jong, but de Jong is much more a clay quarter. Nakashima got beat by Zverev in Cincinnati in the 3rd round. He got beat by Shelton in Toronto, and he got beat by Alex de Minaur at Wimbledon in the quarterfinal. So he has got deep in tournaments or done well in tournaments, but always run into a decent opponent and got beaten. The early money, again, the flurries for the money here has come for Jerome King. He's plus 265 now with Bet Rivers. Nakashima is minus 360. Spread is 4.5. Total here is high, 38.5. And there is the multitude of different markets, the set betting, the total sets, and everything else is available on the app. Jerome Kim, he looked good in qualification, didn't drop a set, and the bettors quite like him here.
Yeah, I like him. He's got a big game. I think he do something against Nakashima. Big weapons, first serve, forehand are the weapons, top class. Held back by injuries for most of his career, but this US Open, he's only dropped 1 set in 4 matches. Held serve 92% of the time, won 81% on first serve, service points won and return points won, total of 111. Stepping up here in quality, but comfortable at main level. Beat Ethan Quinn, only lost 7-5 and had decided to unbear when he's played on hard at main level. So, given how well Nakashima serves, this feels like a long one. I mean, he won 82% on first serve in a very tight final set tiebreak win against Jesper de Jong in round 1. I mean, Nakashima, I'm never convinced with him. His return of serve is the problem for him. Always has been. He's never broken serve often enough for my liking. Also not great on big points. His record against big serves isn't great. He tends to fold when the situation gets very, very tight. Look at his record against Shelton. He's played so many 7-5, 7-6 sets. I think he might have won one of them out of about 8 or something. So does struggle in the tight moments. Kim, he's a player, as I say, I like him. He's got those weapons, and the way that he's played so far suggests, and the way that he's played in main level tournaments when he has had the opportunity, when he's not been injured, suggests that he's more than capable of going toe to toe with someone like Brandon Nakashima. So I think if you're betting in this one, over 18.5 player games for Kim is probably the way to go, minus 110 with Bet Rivers. I think that's the way I would approach this. But any of the markets on Kim, maybe plus 1.5 sets. Set one overs is also an interesting option here over 10.5. I expect this to be a serve-dominated affair. Few break chances. So that's I think that's the way I'll approach that one.
So Kim, over how many games?
Over 18.5 player games. Yeah, I expect this to go pretty long. You'd expect about 40 odd games in this one, really, the way these two play.
And that will be another lean, not an official play. So for the records, we have 2 official plays for tomorrow for Wednesday's action over in the second round at the US Open. What are the 2 official plays, Sean?
Okay, so the first one, I'm taking a chance on Struff to win the opening set. Jan-Lennard Struff to win the opening set against Holger Rune, plus 180, that is, with Bet Rivers. And the second one, I'm just taking Munar on the money line, just by and large on the injury status, the fitness status of Diallo, plus 123. Could get bigger, I think, if you're saying the money's coming for Diallo. It might get bigger than plus 123. But
well, I don't know now. We've just told subscribers on here that Munar's got Diallo's got an injury, and you saw it firsthand. I think people might move it the other direction.
Possible.
But in the build up to this, it looks like it's getting bigger. If you follow all the tips on this show, you'll be just under 13 units in profit on this year. 12.82 units, I believe, is our record on the year. So a nice return there, and hopefully we can add 12.68, and hopefully we can continue to that, add to that during the next 2 weeks or so. Just give you sort of a little bit of update on what's happening here. Because I'm travelling to New York tomorrow, and Sean is travelling back on Thursday. Literally a flying visit for you, isn't it, really, Sean? You're not there long, are you?
It's school holidays. I can't really be away for too long. And in previous years, I've done Labor Day weekend, which is very, very, very busy at the US Open. So yeah, trying to do it a little bit differently this year.
I've got the joys of that this year. Anyway, there's a little bit of changes to the schedule. So obviously I'm flying tomorrow. Sean is flying on Thursday, so we won't be able to record. So the next game bet match will be on Friday. On Saturday, we'll have an extra WTA show, and then we're back on our usual Sunday game bet match, and then we'll be back on the Tuesday again. So we'll get back to normal next week. But there's a couple of changes. If you like the content that you're seeing here and you like the stuff, please hit the subscribe button, as I said. And a little bit of extra stuff. If you are enjoying the stuff here, please subscribe to our Insider and our newsletter. That is free, and you can subscribe to that at bettingweeklystudios.com for free. This weekend we have a preview of the start of the NFL season as well. So lots of stuff your way. Betting Weekly Tennis Live is through every day, Monday through to Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, and Betting Weekly Live Monday to Friday every day. All the latest stuff going on in the world of sports betting, and that is live every day from 11 as well. So we've got you covered, whatever you sport, here on the YouTube channel. Sean, thanks very much for your time. You off to the tennis today?
Yeah, I'll be going in about half an hour or so, yeah. Follow me on Instagram.
Follow Sean at the US Open. You can on Instagram at Because We Win, and I'll be there next week as well, doing the same at Because We Win on all our socials. Take care. Enjoy your day. Good luck with your bets, and we'll speak to you all again on Friday. Take care.